5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are right now. Welcome to the United States Cup. We are back with another winner's bracket match, and this is going to be a quite lopsided matchup seed-wise. We have the number 3 seed New York against the number 28 seed Kentucky. So this is going to be a big task for Kentucky to undertake, but we've seen some pretty interesting matches so far with a very low SR pool, a very gimmick-heavy pool, and it looks like we already have bans underway. It looks like New York has banned out Hidden One, Consistency Hidden map, and Kentucky going to be banning out the No Mod 1 gimmick alt map. My name is Juno, and I will be taking you through this match alongside of my good friend Hubba Wubba. Welcome to the stream.
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm quite excited isn't the word I would use, but I'm interested to see this match, especially because these bans, the No Mod 1 Hidden One bans are straight taking the aim out of here, is a curious endeavor for both teams. Maybe the more simpler maps of the pool just falling to the wayside early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, best of 9 in this series here, so first to 5 points. I won't count out Kentucky until we see a couple maps, based on the fact that we did see Hawaii almost make a very interesting match out of, I believe they were facing Pennsylvania yesterday, and they made a very interesting match about that, only dropping it 3-5. And we're going to be jumping into a No Mod 5 pick right off the bat. I think this is what New York should go for. These more mechanics-based picks, this No Mod 5 being a standard, shorter mech tech map.
For sure. As a higher seed, you always want to pick into things that are complicated. And something like, you would expect New York to have a reading edge, but this early in the game, that's going to be learnable for a lot of teams. So yeah, hopping into mech tech is a solid second endeavor, especially with Hidden 2 being on the board, which is a very similar style of map. It provides a significant route for them to take in this matchup if this map goes well.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be seeing some players slotting in here on the side of Kentucky. It looks like Joey probably going to be that that player that you're going to see on in for Kentucky on every map. Is the only 3-digit, I believe, on Kentucky in this tournament. But again, low SR pool, so I don't want to really count anybody out yet. We do see the lobby filling in for New York. We're going to be seeing Opixe, Emerald Ages, and oh, never mind. We have some people leaving. I believe Pez is also in the lobby. Just so get this covered. So Godskin Noble is formerly known as Pez. Who's like kind of a good player, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, like who let that guy be the United States GOAT?
Yeah.
He's just like in every USA tournament. But yeah, quite excited to see this matchup. Also, oh, okay, so it's New York on that side. I was wondering why the players weren't moving around, but here we go. It's going to be Joyi, Fui, and Sight, the 2 highest ranked players, plus the lowest ranked player on Kentucky for the mech tech, as well as Emerald Ages, Opixe, and Godskin Noble, otherwise known as Pez, for the consistency angle. Emerald Ages, he is score farmer extraordinaire. Something like this, he just knocks out of the park and for fun as a little joke, just on his free time. So I would imagine not going to be too bad. But this is the first break coming through for Scythe in the map. It was also matched by Fui, so not looking so great for Kentucky early on. Joey, only FC still being held amongst the first kick sliders.
Yeah, I think this is what we're going to see for the majority of the match. Joey's going to be perfectly fine on most of these maps at this SR, but it's really going to be to see if they could find these 2 or 3, the second and third supporting scores for Joey on maybe some of the less mechanically demanding maps, as we see another break coming out from Scythe. Still the 3-way FC holding on for New York. No surprise there.
Yeah, there was a sneaky moment with a 50 chain on one of those flowing patterns, but not going to be striking out that combo. But there it is, the 3-way break for Kentucky right at the break point. So unfortunately, being forced to see what just occurred to your team. But the 3-way still holding on for New York. The consistency showing far and away here. 99% ACK on Pez going to be very notable as well.
Yeah, and this is the dominant performance you expect out of New York, especially on their own first pick. It looks like it's going to be well over 1 million points once this is said and done. And it's going to be Kentucky's pick after this. Pez, unfortunately, finding a break at the end of the map, not able to pull out the 3-way FC. Emerald Age is also dropping. We'll see if anybody can pull out a FC there, and it is going to be Opixe. 1.3 million points by the end of this map. I think Kentucky, they just need to go for something either standard. You got that free mod 2 that is quite comfortable, just a longer consistency aim map, or maybe something a little bit gimmickier, but on the less mechanically demanding side.
For sure, yeah, you want to go into something. You want to go into some simpler maps, and I feel like with these rosters, having a quick look at Kentucky again, I feel like the double times are going to be where they're going to play most of their ball here. Having the 3-way combo of Joyi, Fui, and King Art on the side of Kentucky, who does it quite well on those double times, should be solid for them. Something like DT2, the Fever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could also be seeing Hello Planet, which is more of a consistency tapping map. We could also see them go. One thing I want to note: this is the first time that I've been commentating a match in USC this round that no mod 4 has been available. Do I think either of these teams pick it? No, but we'll see if that's something that New York maybe tries to toy with later in the match.
For sure, or even something. Oh, it is going to be Hello Planet, but it's something like free mod 2 as well, just like allowing everyone to get their comfort mods, play into some aim. But we are going to be hopping into the old style slight tapping map. Some finger control elements here, very cozy BPM, very cozy stats. The OD7 AR8 on double time for the 9.6 and 9.1 respectively. Just gonna be a little wholesome time.
And who doesn't love some Hatsune Miku?
She's a potted plant in this background, I think.
Amazing. We love that. We do see King Art coming into the lobby. As you said, we would be seeing King Art on more of these tapping maps, and then Fui and Joey rounding out the lineup. And then we do see Toki coming in on the side of New York, as I believe it was Emerald Ages will be the one subbing out. And then Pez and Opixe in as well. Do believe that New York has their full roster here. I don't know to what extent they'll need to use it. Maybe if they go into something more reading, then that's when like Takedo comes out.
Yeah, I would imagine. And even then, you still have Kuromi on the sideline as well, who is Gaby, I believe. There's multiple Kuromi. Nope, this is the real Kuromi. Nope. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's this Kuromi, but there's also Kuromi, who is Gaby. But yeah, that is Kuromi. So I'm actually surprised not to see him in for something like this. Maybe he'll show up for one of the Hard Rocks perchance. But Really solid early on for the Kentucky side, actually. Pixie finding the first break and actually a couple accuracy concerns. But unfortunately for Team Kentucky, the accuracy concerns more on their side with King Art currently on 94. Some of the buzz sliders being a little cheeky and the stop and go rhythming as well. But now the scoreline gonna flicker on over due to that earlier break from a Pixie.
Yeah, just the one early break so far. And at this point, Kentucky just really needs to just hold on here. There's not much currently that could be broken on. As we get into this next KI section, this is where we might see some struggles on the longer burst patterns in the map. But Pixie recovering perfectly fine, but it is just ever so slightly growing. But yeah, just a little bit of an accuracy drop from King Art there. It's gonna be back slightly. It's teetering right on that 30-40k right now, and we'll see what this transpires to with the recovery.
Yeah, if any breaks come through, that would be disastrous, but still the accuracies are quite even at this point. It's just this 30k diff from the 150 combo, just about. But big burst there, not gonna be striking anyone out either. And I mean, well scouted is this map for Kentucky, who, I mean, New York this year looks incredibly strong. This was a lot of teams picked to win last year. So getting a point off them would be bragging rights, but I started to see that shake on Fui, and it does occur, just a slight over-aim on the linear there. Unfortunately, nerves maybe getting the best of them, and now they see it on the break, and that's going to be even more nerve-wracking. But there's always a chance for New York to falter. We did see the double break at the tail end of the tech map last time. So we shall see if they can close out the FCs this time around. The triple S rank still being held on, but it's King Art to fall, unfortunately, and that will be all she wrote with this map, unless we see the Curse of Raj strike New York.
I'll be completely honest. I don't even think the Curse of Ra can stop New York at this point. Looked like they had a couple of early act problems, but just settling really nicely into this, and it's going to be a double FC from Pez and Toki, and a reverse choke coming out of a Pixie. So really solid scores here. Unfortunately, Joey also broke the FC on the side of Kentucky. So okay, all credit to Kentucky. This map was very close for 3/4 of the map. It was just very unfortunate breaks, maybe some nerves getting to them at the end, but it is going to be New York pulling out 3.4 million points on this DT3 here. All those one misses look so sad.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking, but luckily the accuracies were consolidated at the tail end for New York, so even if it were the triple FC, it would have been a little close off the back of that 96 and that early Pixie slider break. But with the second point on the board for New York, the first break point of the match in our first to 5 here, and I'd imagine New York gonna keep on picking complicated things. I mentioned before with that No Mod 5 victory, there is a clear path to victory here along the guise of a hidden 2 Hard Rock 1 into maybe a free mod 1. All very similar maps, and if you're looking to avoid those slightly easier reading maps mechanically, that would be the angle.
Yeah, think about it. They could also go for a No Mod 4 angle that's just like a 36-second long 240 BPM death stream map. So that honestly could be an option. I don't think it's going to be an option. Maybe. I really think it's hidden 2 pick here for New York. It's been one of the more popular maps so far in this round, and rightfully so. Paying respects to the classics, being a 2016 pretty set with Bonsai and Asphyxia.
No Mod 2 is the pick, actually. They're going to be going for Duality. This is your structure precision map. There's some interesting stack reading here, as well as CS7. If yeah, CS7.
Yeah.
CS7 Air 8.3, a little bit of stack jump scares, as well as some rhythm difficulty within those stacks. There's like a double single tap in there. There's like some 1/3 pauses at times,
Mm.
as well as the linear patterning. Gonna be an interesting look, but I'm curious about the roster here. Maybe Taquito moment. Why is it the mechanics roster?
I mean, at this stage of the game, it's a 4.94 star map.
Yeah.
Really, realistically, any of your Hard Rock players can play this map, like for the because ultimately it's a precision map. The AR 8.3, because of the 160 BPM, is not as much of a factor as you would think it would be, considering the SR and the BPM. So, it, I think it checks out. You go with your precision Hard Rock roster.
Yeah, I could see that as well. The precision difference making up this roster. Of course, the CS7 can be tricky at times, but no precision seen in the Hard Rock pool, so this will have to do as we get underway. Going to be starting off with a handful of sliders top left, some longer guys, just really focusing on your precision and control. You don't want to over aim any of these early patterns, as the map only gets harder as it goes on. It's kind of accelerating in that way.
Yeah, we see Scythe coming in as well for their second play of the match instead of Fui. Fui taking a sub out, and then actually it's going to be Joey with the first break of the match, but still holding a slight lead, although it's going to go back over now with that secondary break from Scythe. Another shorter map, just under 2.5 minutes, and that's quite unfortunate. We see 3 breaks already in this first quarter of the map on the side of Kentucky.
Yeah, it's always tricky for newer players to get the hang, especially if you're like one of your early tournaments is United States Cup. Like this pool is very sketchy, and King Art finding a little bit of an overaim there. It's only Joey on the combo for Kentucky, but New York still holding on to that triple, as we've been seeing in previous.
Yeah, King Art's just like, wait a second, this isn't a stream map. What have you gotten me into? This was supposed to be No Mod 2. Wait, it's United States Cup, and it's CS7 AR 8.3. It is what it is.
So it shall go. Holding on is New York. The Triple FC still underway. Accuracy is surprising. Double 94s, but not going to matter too much. Toki on the 97, the notable stamina player for this New York side. Going to be the main hit tapper, known for getting some pretty gnarly 900s in match at some point. Back when the stamina farm grind was going, but multifaceted it would seem with this reading FC. Evo Pixie finding the break, unfortunately, but Joey right behind him.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another dominant victory for the side of New York, and unfortunately, Pez finding a little funny slider break on the last slider of the map, as well as Toki finding a slider. 3 S ranks on the side of New York, as well as an S rank on Joey as well. Finding a good score there, just an early break, the reverse choke for Joey. And back to Kentucky's pick now. Do they stay with DT? I don't know. I think they go DT2 here, but I could be persuaded otherwise.
I could see maybe, like, honestly, I might prefer DT1.
Very fair. Oh, okay.
No mod 4. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Go into something volatile. Um, Volatility is going to be like you have to break the consistency that New York has, and with the bulk of tournament experience that they're bringing to the table, the only way to do that is going to be these short volatile maps, which is why I like DT1 because it's only 600 combo. You have this linear alt uh difference. Could be very volatile there, but this equally as volatile. It's just some 240 finger control leading into the death stream towards the tail end of the map.
Yeah, and this map, minute 17. Although I believe there's only like 40 something seconds of actual drain time, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. We do see you did mention Toki, the main tapping player for New York. Don't see Taquito in here, although, well, Taquito's speed has gotten better over the years, I will say. And then, but Opixe and Pez definitely capable on this short map. And then Fui back in, who we saw did decently well on the DT3 that we saw earlier, as well as Joey. And then Scythe coming back in for their third play of the match.
Yeah, Scythe over King Art here is interesting to me. I've known King Art as a mechanics player when I've played with him in previous tournament, but we shall see how Scythe fares on our Nomad 4 now.
And blink and you'll miss it because this map is very short. 240 BPM death streams. Here we go.
Early bursts coming inbound, a couple quints, some triple spam, testing the finger control. After these quick aim sections, it will be the 1/3 section. Unfortunately for Fui, missing prior is pretty much just game over if you miss prior to the death stream. But big death stream coming inbound, the double taps coming through for Scythe. Pixie matches, wait a minute, will it be enough? All combos inbound, but no, it is the accuracy game. Unfortunately, that was the closest map so far. Double FC on Kentucky, but you look at the accuracies on the FCs for New York, 98.6 and 97 on Toki. Incredibly strong stuff comparatively. If Fui hadn't broken though, that would have for sure gotten Kentucky their first point ever in the tournament.
Yeah, because Fui unfortunately missing on the aim in the right before the 1/3 section, and only 10-100, so did very well on that final death stream. Definitely would have made up the score difference there. Going into New York's next pick here, they're in control. I think you take that hidden 2. I know you banned out hidden 1, but that's a skill set that's more of just a comfort slot there that they maybe just want to get rid of. They're actually going to be going Hard Rock 1, so we're going to be seeing more jank.
Now this was expected. This is the most complicated map in the pool, maybe the hardest map in the pool, depending on who you ask. But very long, higher velocity sliders alongside a little bit of aim control and finger control and semi-precision as well. Not quite that 6.5, but looking around 6.1 after conversion, I believe. So should be solid for New York. And getting another look at this Hard Rock roster, I would imagine we may see Karomi or Taquito hop in as the third man for this one.
It definitely looks like. Oh,
I was just gonna say, speaking of debuts, Mr. Sparkle Pants is here.
He definitely is here, and he's got his sparkly pants on. The some would say the serious pants on for the Hard Rock. And yeah, we're actually gonna be seeing Toki come back in. Maybe New York just playing with 4 players right now. You never know. But I think honestly, at this SR, like really any one of these New York players can play a map like this and be perfectly fine on it. And we're getting into New York on match point now. This could be this could be it. But it wouldn't be the end for Kentucky if they were to fall right now in this match. Kentucky obviously would go down to the losers bracket, and then New York moving on to the next round.
Yeah, early patterns coming through here. First break coming through for Scythe. Sparkle Pants holding on to some combo, but accuracy leaves a little bit to be desired. Very tricky map to act though, with these higher velocity sliders and slight finger control patterns. I'm trying to have a look at some of those slider ticks. Unfortunately, the strikeout Scythe. But one of my favorite things about 5-digits players and like 5-digit tournaments is how wholesome combo gaming is. Unfortunately, Sparkle Pants does break the combo alongside Fez, but combo gaming is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, we do see. Although on Toki's side, almost finds a few 100s there when I start mentioning their name, but was holding almost 99%. But it's just the FC on no one right now on Kentucky, unfortunately. But the 2 FCs still holding on New York here. It's over 500k. We're 2/3 of the way through the map. There's a few misses from Toki and Pez. Pez almost getting caught up by the Z slider as well. Z slider. Toki going to be finding another break following that up. It's still a Pixie holding strong on the Hard Rock here, with no real combos to combat here on the side of Kentucky.
Yin Guo.
What does that mean?
Good question. I'll Google Translate it real quick.
Perfect.
Hold on, I'm trying to do a quick, but I can't find it.
Okay. While we get that translation for you, it is the end of the match here. New York finding the sweep over Kentucky 5-0. It's what you'd expect out of a seed 2 to be able to really put up a big performance like this. And we'll be moving on in the next round, and they will be facing the winner of Georgia, Massachusetts, however you pronounce that state name, because why would I ever know? And Georgia, Massachusetts would be at 1 UTC, so in a few hours time. We do have another match ongoing right now on the B stream. I believe Nevada and Kanzuri going up against each other right now, and Nevada up 2-1 over Kanzuri. So yeah, congratulations to New York. Any more words, Hubba?
Yin Guo means cause and effect.
Very well.
Those are my final words. Have a good day, everyone. Have fun on the B stream with Nevada and Kanzuri.
Have a good day.